What's up YouTube? For tonight I have a full Mario Kart items team. This consists of Mario Kart items in a team of 6, and that looked like me Mario Kart driving there. Anyways, leave those theme teams in the comments section below, and any feedback in general on the video is also appreciated as well. Okay, now I had a couple of battles with this team. This was a long battle. It was about 35 to 40 turns. I can't exactly remember how long it was, but it was a good one. Okay, so starting things off with my blooper. This is it's a Everlight blooper with, I just gave it a superpower. I gave it knockoff, rock slide for bug Pokemon, and Psycho Cup. Okay, Registeel's going to set up rocks for this first turn, which is fine. That doesn't really hurt my team that much. It did some fair decent damage there to Registeel with the superpower. Now Zatu's going to come in and take that one really easy because it's going to be able to resist that heavily. I still got to boost my attack and defense, so that's okay, not too bad. Now it's like, oh, I could go for knockoff here. This will just destroy Zatu. Wasn't really sure what I had, like what special moves it would have. I was confident I could live whatever move it threw at me there. Go for the U-turn there. Since I've got those defense boosts up already, I actually take that really well. Wasn't sure what EVs it was running, so it didn't really do too much damage to me. So that's whatever's going to get swapped in now is going to get hit very hard regardless. Okay. So I went for the knockoff, as I mentioned before, and it does huge amounts of damage to Electros there. Nearly takes it out, gets rid of its assault there, so I was pretty happy with that. That was a score. Okay, Electros goes for the T-Bolt. I just live on 18 health, and I finish it off with the Psycho Cut. That's Electros down, so Inkay doing some awesome work here. Right, so out comes Zato again. Now, I know the U-turn is pretty obvious. Since there's Stealth Rocks on the field, there's not really much I can do there, so I just have to let my MK die. But that's cool. I did a nice chunk to Registeel, took Electros out, and I put some pressure on the Zato too, showing at least one of its moves there. Okay, so we got the Registeel coming out again. There's not too much I can do against this thing. I just had to really whittle this thing down in health. So I was thinking, oh, I can just go for Scold here against this thing, try and get a burn on it. That would be handy because I can't use Toxic against it. I don't really have too much stuff that's super effective. So that critical hit does, like, well, nothing, as you saw, and I get paralyzed with Thunder Wave, which isn't an issue because I do have rest on my War Turtle. Now I was thinking, what should I do? Should I just keep going for Scold here? It does have a form of recovery. Like I noticed it didn't have leftovers. Could I have rest? I'm not really sure. Regardless, I just stayed in, went for Scold again. Zatu comes in and take that. So obviously it's looking a lot more like a bulky Zatu. Wasn't really sure what EVs it was because I didn't get much of a look at it yet. Okay, so it goes for Psychic. That does like nothing to me. So judging on that damage, it should have done a lot more if it was like a sweeping style set. So I'm thinking it's got to be max special defense or health, or maybe it's max speed and max health. I'm not really sure what it is at the moment. Alright, anyway, so Dusclops comes in there. I'm thinking, what should I actually do here against this guy? I like, knockoff would have been so handy against this. That was the problem. Yeah, I couldn't really, I don't know, there wouldn't be much way to have kept my Inkay there. I was still very happy with that result, so I don't regret using that Inkay earlier on the battle. Okay, so into my Flotet now. I just changed this around a little bit because I wanted a little bit more bulk instead of using the evolution beforehand. Now here I wait for the Toxics. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's Dusclops poison, so that's a start. Like I'm not really sure like what else it can really do to me there. I've got Aromatherapy, so it can use whatever move it likes against me, or status move and stuff. That's cool. Okay, so I'm burned, but I can use the Aromatherapy here to not only wake up my War Turtle, but cure myself of a burn. So that was pretty handy having that done. Okay, so I got my burn healed there, and it saved me getting rest with Sleep Talk again on there. So it goes for the Nightshade, which is obviously the fixed damage move. So it's not too much of a trouble because I got Synesis as my healing move on this Pokemon. So it's good. It's a nice little tanky special defense Pokemon. I gave it a was using Moonblast, and that would do like nothing. Okay, so anyway, into Manectric here. Registeel's going to go for the Iron Head. That does, basically nothing to my Manectric. Okay, they withdraw the Manectric. I was half thinking it would go for Earthquake, so I took a big risk here on this one. I've actually got a physical set on this, and I've got Howl on it, so that's going to raise its attack by 1 stage. Well, I've got the Life Orb attached to it too. Now, I've actually got Crunch on here, so I decided, let's go for Crunch. It gets Dusclops. This should do quite a bit of damage to it. I wasn't sure if it would kill it, but I knew it would get very, very close. Gets very close after that toxic damage there. It should, it's within range, I guess. Okay, Dusclops is going to go for a Will-O-Wisp there. That's going to pretty much wreck my Manectric, or my physical Manectric there. So I can just take it out with whatever move I want to do. I can go for Crunch again. I've got Wild Charge on this thing too. It's just a fun set. Okay. So that's Dusclops down, which is good. That thing's finally out the way. Okay. Now, I was thinking, what are they going to bring in? They could bring in that Xatu. I wasn't sure, like, what moves it had and stuff. It could, that was in range for me to finish off with the Psychic or whatnot. In comes Registeel again. Okay, yep, it must, maybe it's got Rest or something, or it wants to set up Curses. I thought, well, let's go for Wild Charge, because I'm going to die to Life Orb and Burn anyway. That's fine. And just goes for Iron Hand and finishes me off. I'm like, okay, that's not too bad. That's not all bad. Did some damage there. My Manectric, after it got burned, its use pretty much went out the window there. Okay, so I've got my Staryu here, thinking, what should I go for here? Should I go for Hydro Pump, try and finish this freaking thing off? I was like, yep, let's go for Hydro Pump. And I wasn't even sure that this was going to kill, and it lives. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. And Registeel uses Thunder Wave against my Staryu. Choice Scarf Staryu, so I gave that Hydro Pump Ice Beam. What else did I give that? Hydro Pump Ice Beam. I think I gave it T-Bolt, and I gave it whatever hidden power. I think it was Grass, or I'm pretty sure it was Grass. Okay. So that's that down, and this thing was really annoying. Dugtrio obviously had Arena Trap, so I couldn't swap, and it just takes me out with Earthquake. I was half thinking that would come in before when I had Manectric and just finish me off, but maybe they were saving it for some reason. I don't even know. Okay, so I'm going to go into Mushroom Head. This is a Choice Band and a Mungus. It has a terrible physical move pool, but it's me. I wanted to use it. It doesn't even have a Stab Poison move. Okay, Xatu comes in. I just went for Payback because I knew that freaking Xatu was expecting something like Giga Drain, and Payback does quite a bit to it considering. Okay, without boost, of course, there. Right, so I just stay and I thought, let's go for Payback again. Dugtrio is not going to like swapping into that. Psychic hits me really hard. I do take that, and that's going to be Xatu down there, so that's awesome. Payback takes Xatu out there. So all that's left is a Dugtrio at the moment, and another Pokemon, which will be real very soon. So I knew Dugtrio would come out again, Arena Trap me, and go for the Earthquake to finish me off, but that's cool. I'm actually fine with that. So I hadn't seen a Mega Pokemon yet, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to get Mega. There's a good chance of that happening. So into my Wartortle now, I was thinking, well, I could go for a Scald here. Dugtrio is not going to like that. Now, it's going to go for Earthquake again. This Wartortle is relatively bulky in defense here. I decided to go for a Skull Bash because I wanted to get some defense up. I thought, let's take a risk here. And Dugtrio is going to go for Earthquake again. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I thought both of the Pokemon would be physical attackers, so I went for Skull Bash there on my other turn. Does over half damage, which is pretty fun. Now, this turn I went for Rest, so I've got a +1 in defense there, and I did some damage to Dugtrio. I just hang on there and get the rest off. Okay. So things are going good. It's 2 Pokemon all. It's pretty close because I have all my health back. Now here I'm going to go for Sleep Talk and hopefully get Scald. I needed Scald. So out comes the Gallade. I'm like, oh please, it's going to be Mega Gallade. This is going to be very, very hard to tank with the Pokemon I've got. So I was praying for that Scald, and I get fucking Rest. I'm like, fuck! So that sucks. I have to swap out Wartortle here. I'm expecting a fighting move from Flotet, so I thought, well, I could probably sacrifice my Flotet here and maybe swap in Wartortle again so my Scald does a little bit more. And so I get the prediction right. I tank that close combat. I take that decently, I guess. Thinking here, let's go for Moonblast if anything comes in. It goes for close combat again. I'm like, oh, that's strange. You could have gone for anything else than that. So I was thinking, it has a Mega Evolve. Maybe it's a Scarf Gallade. I was starting to get that impression. So I went for Moonblast anyway, because I barely lived that second one. That does heaps of damage, doesn't quite take it out, but I was so happy with that damage. That was great. I get a special attack drop, which didn't mean shit, but that's cool. Gallade's got to go for a close one about here, and finish off my Flotet there. Okay, so that's down. Now, all I've got left is my Wartortle. Now, I wasn't too sure whether I was going to leave a close combat from this thing or not, but I was like, I'm asleep, I'm full health, I reckon I'll be able to live this and win the battle here, or at least, get a pretty damn good result in this battle. One of those Pokemon has to go down. So they actually swapped out there. I guess after all those boosts, they didn't want to risk, close combat not killing me. So here I went for the Rest Halt, and I got fucking Rest again! I'm like, Jesus! So Dugtrio is going to go for the Stone Edge here, and that freaking crits me. I'm like, oh no, that's not good. I do get the Scald off though, and that is going to destroy Dugtrio there, taking it out. So Dugtrio's down, that's good. Dugtrio really wasn't the problem though. I knew I could tank that all out pretty much all day and one shot whenever I liked. Okay, so the final turn here, pretty much. Gallade's going to go for the close combat again, and I fucking live on 400 health, bitches! Woo! So that's awesome. I've got my Everlight on this, and quite a bit bulked into defense, and the Sculpt was just enough to take the Gallade out with the close combat boost there. So, yep, that's a game, and a very, very close one. Hope you enjoyed this. Peace out.